How you hanging?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm doing well, my friend. You excited for tonight's little chat with our friends here at Rippln?
Going to be a lot of fun.
Well, my friends, we're going to bring on one more person in just a bit who hangs out a lot with us over here at Rippln HQ. But first and foremost, it's top of the hour. I want to welcome everybody. We're super excited to be hanging out with you right now, and we're getting ready to have a little fun. Now, over the last 5 days, there has been a pretty extraordinary event that has taken place. And what's taken place is we sort of released the Ripple to the world. And if you're here, then that means you are now a Rippler. And we're all part of one big family of people who has recognized the value that we equal in the marketplace and who want to be rewarded for the value that we're bringing many of the biggest companies in the world today. And so this little thing that we're doing here to us is no little thing. It's a movement. And we believe that people truly should get rewarded for the value that they're bringing to the marketplace. And we believe that that's not happening at the scale that it could be happening. And we want to change that. And we want to align with like-minded individuals who also believe that they are worth more than they're getting rewarded for by sharing all the coolest new apps and products and technologies and services. And so that's what Rippln's all about. And we truly believe that we're a movement to reclaim a portion of the wealth that exists in the technology industry, hundreds of billions of dollars really, and put that back in the hands of the people who share these apps and share these products and share these services to begin with. And so over the next 60 days, keep your eyes peeled because you're going to see a lot from us. There's a ton of exciting stuff coming out, a ton of really cool videos, media, and all sorts of tweaks and changes that we're going to be making to the Rippln platform. But we're just getting ready to kick things off here, and we're so excited that you're sort of in and hanging out with us in our inner circle at this very early stage in this very early time. And Brian, before we get into tonight's little Rippln 101 class, is there anything that you wanted to add just to say hi and welcome everybody?
No, it's definitely hello everyone out there, and congratulations on what an incredible start to growing the Ripple. I know that it's been a wild and crazy 5 or 6 days since this weekend in Dallas, where we really started the Ripple, and a lot of you started your Ripple, and it's a very humbling experience from what we've seen. Just to see the people that are out there, not only here in the domestic U.S., but really all across the world, as I think now we're in 192 or 191 countries. It really shows that people truly understand that it's time to stretch consumer demand. It's time to stretch consumer awareness and help people realize that they do have an impact in today's market, and they are the most valuable commodity in today's market. And so it's really cool to be a part of this movement, and we're very excited about rolling out our rollout sequence to the rest of the world. I can tell you here at the headquarters in Dallas, Texas, we have literally been pulling 24-hour shifts, just getting prepared to stay ahead of the growth. And what we're doing is right now we're just in this buzz phase, and everything that we're doing is we're doing on purpose in terms of to create a throttle and to really roll it out properly. So I think tonight is the start of a lot of you seeing more and more education and seeing a lot more of what's behind the Ripple and who we are. And it's great to be here. It's a pleasure being here, and I can tell you that we are cautiously optimistic right now about not only where we're at, but more importantly where we're going. And we do know that this entire platform is driven by the people, and that's you. And most importantly, it's important that we reward the people, and that's what this entire concept and mission is all about.
Absolutely. That is one thing, my friends, that you will see at the core of every person who is part of the Rippln team and part of the Rippln movement is that we truly believe that the people are the most valuable the most valuable asset, if you want to call it that any company really has, that the world really has. And if there's one thing we're about, it's rewarding the people for their value, recognizing their value, and making sure that we are participating and sharing in a lot of the wealth that's being created through these technologies right now. And that's just what Rippln is all about. And so as we head into tonight, the first thing that we wanted to discuss a little bit, which a lot of people might be asking, is who are we? And so I can speak a little bit, and I'm sure Brian can speak a little bit too, but we're actually a very diverse group of individuals over here, coming from all sorts of different backgrounds. Virtually everybody on the team has an entrepreneurial background in many different capacities, and so we've all gotten our start in different ways and different places, but we share the sort of same common thread. We share that sort of same a love for people and love for innovation and love to do big things and make a difference in the world, and a love to really sort of create something completely new, something that hasn't been done before. And so we kind of stumbled into this whole concept over here really almost by accident. I know I can speak for myself by accident, as I was simply looking for, how can I make a big difference in the world today, and what is something that we could do that's really cool, that hasn't been done before, that would add so much value to people's lives, and even change the way that business is done, and transcend how business has been done in the marketplace when it comes to sharing technologies and apps and products and services. And so a really cool group of people has formed over the last 18 months that has just a lot of knowledge, a lot of talent, a lot of resources, a lot of capabilities. And we've been hard at work on creating the Rippln platform and creating a lot of the message and the videos and the media that you're now seeing as we prepared to really release the Rippln to the world for the first time. And so, we're just having fun and looking forward to getting to know a lot of you, and really forming a really tight community here of people who really want to do something big, and who really want to change how the game is played, and want to have a ton of fun while they're doing it, and also get rewarded, for the value that we're bringing to the marketplace. So, Brian, is there anything that you want to throw in there as we're just hanging out here? Hey, Brian, can you hear me, buddy? Whoa. Brian. Hey, partner.
Hey there.
There you are, buddy. You came back.
Hey, and by the way, you might want to send Russell an invite. I know we're having a little bit of difficulty. It just kicked me off, but glad to be back on.
I'm glad you're back, partner. All right, let me send Russell an invite. Hey, you still there with me, buddy?
Yes. All right, perfect.
So we were just chatting a little bit about who we are, and I got to share a brief bit about the sort of values of our team, and sort of the background that we come from, and what's important to us, and what we're all about. And I know you've probably got something to add to that.
No, I think the most exciting thing about it is the quality of team that we have behind us. And for a lot of you on the phone, I know that you're probably asking yourself, what's behind it? What's the infrastructure? And I think the bigger the vision, the bigger players that step up to be a part of that vision. And the exciting thing about it is that we have literally people all over the world right now behind us infrastructurally here in Dallas. So you're going to start being able to not only hear from them and hear more about that infrastructure, but we're setting up for this movement with a global infrastructure. I mean, right now we have systems that have been in place for over 14 years. We also have offices or management and staff in 17 countries right now that we can leverage. And so everything that we're doing with a lot of purpose, and also with a lot of responsibility, understanding that there's quite a few people that have been waiting in anticipation for this rollout and what we're doing, and for others of you, there's thousands of people that are just now coming to know us, and that's what we really look forward to over the course of the next 6 to 8 weeks, is really getting to know a lot of the key individuals that are helping us not only create this movement, but that are going to be a part of it. And so who we are, what we're about, and for 1,000 or 1,200 of you got to meet us this weekend. And I think that if anyone on the line wasn't here, and you can get with some of the individuals that were, they can share with you a little bit about the spirit in which we're doing things. And so what's really important to us is that we really help people understand this transcending model, where we are in the marketplace, but how we really want to go into blue oceans and do things that have never been done. And in order to do that, it really starts with the foundation, and that foundation is a lot of times the hardest part of the house to build, but it's the most important piece to build. And so that's where we've been over the course of the last 9 months as we've been developing this concept. And right now we're in that buzz mode where we're looking to attract people that see what we see, believe what we believe. And I've always said that a lot of people can do something, few people will do it, but anytime you're bringing a team together, you've got to ask yourself, is it a team fit? And so, Jonathan, our team is absolutely incredible, not only behind the scenes, but also, for those of you that are on the telephone line that are really helping create this movement. It's the best, marketing minds and some of the most ambitious entrepreneurs that I've ever had the opportunity to work with and be led by. So it's very exciting.
Absolutely, and I think that the concept really speaks for itself, and I think maybe I can speak for all of us, Brian, that we feel sort of swept up in the same momentum, in the same wave that everybody feels right now. Literally in the last 5 days, over 83,000 people, I think 84,000 people have joined the Rippln. And the Rippln has really moved from sort of being a concept of, hey, how come a platform doesn't exist that tracks our effect on the world, that tracks our impact on the world, and then rewards us when transactions take place within that network? It's really moved from a concept to, my goodness.
Hey, Jonathan?
Support. Yeah.
For some reason, if you could click on your screen, I'm getting a lot of feedback that they can't see the actual visible media that you're displaying.
Hey, what about now, partner? Does that work? Can you see?
I can see it, yes.
Well, does anybody else want to pipe in here real quick before we move on? Where's the rest of everybody? What about now? Is it looking good, buddy? Should I move forward?
It looks good on my screen, 1,000%. But they're saying that it's still frozen on my mug, and I think Craig's work is a lot better looking than my face. So.
Also possibly if actually, you know what? I have no idea what it looks like on there. I'll try one more thing. Sometimes it switches around and shows you a lot of different stuff. What about now? How's that?
I think they only see me.
Can you see it now, Brian?
Only me.
Well, I mean, that's not a bad thing to see.
Yeah, exactly.
If you got to see something. Here, I'll try one more thing here.
Click on the screen in the bottom right. Click on the bottom right screen.
Oh, maybe they're only seeing...
There you go. There you go. How was that?
This whole thing, that's fantastic. So, what I was saying, my friends, is really just that we've seen this move from being a concept of, hey, you think people would be interested in that, to literally, 84,000 people around the world saying, yes, I want to track my ripple effect, and yes, I want to be rewarded for the value I believe in the marketplace, which kind of brings us to, why are we here? Why do we exist? And at Rippln, we believe that the social graph is missing transparency. And I'll give you a quick analogy for that. I love Facebook. I use Facebook all the time. It's an incredible platform, incredible technology. It's made, the interconnection of people and the sharing of information and the sharing of our lives so easy. And it has really changed, I think, human culture since Facebook launched, a decade ago. And yet a decade ago, 1,000 students, the first 1,000 people ever who got on Facebook at Harvard University, I can't think that they ever would have had a single idea that just 10 years later their ripple effect in the world would have equaled 1 billion people. Could you even imagine that your ripple effect on the world would equal 1 billion people just 10 years later? I can't even fathom that I would have ever foresaw that, and yet that's what happened. And so as we thought about it a little bit more, we took it one step further. Not only did the ripple effect on the world equal 1 billion people, but today Facebook is worth over $100 billion. So that 1,000 people who were the start of Facebook per se, who had a ripple effect on the world of reaching over 1 billion people, in essence played a role in creating $100 billion worth of value. And yet, if you look at the social graph, there's not a single one of us who have any true transparency into how our ripple effect spread. We don't know, because I invited John and John invited Sue, how many people are using Facebook because I use Facebook? How many people play Angry Birds because I play Angry Birds? How many people use Instagram because I took that photo and I shared it on my Facebook wall? And yet we know that how these companies grow and how they spread is person to person to person to person, yet nobody's ever given us true transparency into what that ripple effect is. And because we have no transparency, we have no way to get rewarded for it. There's no way for us to know the value that we bring to these companies, and thus we've got no way to claim that value. Well, at Rippln, we are here to change that. That is what our mission is about. And Rippln believes that you, the ripple maker, should be rewarded for the value that you bring to the world. And if you bring value to a technology company, then you deserve the right to share in those rewards. And that's why we created Rippln. And I think that's what really gets us so juiced up, and why we see this as more of a movement than anything. And Brian, I know that you've got some unique insights as well into how we want to change sort of the way that the marketplace is operated in this sense, and maybe you could share a little bit of that with everybody, because I'm sure they'd love to hear.
Can you hear me okay now?
Sure can, buddy.
Hey there, Russell. Welcome on.
Hey, sorry guys, I apologize. I'm going crazy over here trying to get on.
Hey, there he is.
Don't you love Google Hangouts?
Good to see you, my friend.
Awesome to be here, you guys.
Outstanding. But no, what you were saying, Jonathan, is exactly right. And I think that the most important thing to realize is that it's not only realizing the impact that we're having in the market, but also the impact of our value and what our ability is. And it's really the power of one. And for a lot of us, what we're talking about right now is just the mission behind what we're doing. And I think that here in just a few minutes, you're going to go through really the sequence of events in terms of how our model is flexible and how we're able to pivot in the marketplace because of the tribe that we're building and because of the platform and integrating the visibility or the transparency to the tribe in the marketplace. A lot of companies over the last 7 years have talked about transparency in the market. Media is now we are the creators of content worldwide. When something happens, a lot of times we don't get the news from the major broadcasts, but we actually get it from YouTube, from Facebook, from these social platforms that have been built off of a one-to-one relationship. And so a lot of times when something's happening in the world, it's instant. We get it because someone films it on their mobile phone or on the 4 inches of real estate that's in their pocket. And that's really why we wanted to use mobile engagement and use the speed of mobile engagement to help connect people in a way that they've never seen before with true transparency, to give them the ability to be rewarded for the impact that they're making in a lot of different markets. So, it's very exciting, and really, it's about 3 or 4 years ago in the making that I think, if you, like me, are an entrepreneur, you're looking for what's exciting in the marketplace. And the one thing that we've been able to really identify as a society as a whole is that we are never going to leave home without our mobile phones, meaning that today we have access to more information and more people than any time ever in the history of the world. And so we have been a part of this major movement, this major transition in the market, in the value in terms of the shift of trillions of dollars of what is now the most valued, not only real estate, but the most valuable companies in the market are the ones that have the most eyeballs. And what we just realized 4 years ago is those eyeballs are all going to be, in front of their telephones, their mobile phones, to be specific.
That's awesome, my friend. Russell, we're chatting a little bit here about why we exist, what kind of gets our juice flowing, and what's the passion behind this platform that we've created. Is there anything you want to share with everybody about what you love about it? What brought you here?
Yeah, I'd love to tell my story. So I first heard about this whole thing. It was about 7 or 8 months ago, and it was kind of fun. I live here in Boise, Idaho, and I was meeting one of my close friends, Troy, at his office, and I kind of bumped into Brian. We were kind of just passing, paths, and we spent about 10, 15 minutes talking, and I was talking about what he was doing and I was doing, and they said, "Hey, what do you think about this concept I have?" And he kind of explained it, and what turned into like a quick 10-minute meeting ended up being a 2-day meeting where we hung out and just started going through all this. And I got excited because, for me, I've seen over and over again, I've seen what's been happening in the world. You see what happens with the big tech companies. You see what happens with Facebook, with Instagram, all these companies that are growing. And he said that we've got a platform we're building that can actually track that viral nature of what's already happening and then reward people back because of that. And I saw the vision of it back then, and I said, look, I want to be part of this because there's not very often that there's a lot of opportunities that come along, right? There's opportunities that you can make good money, but it's not very often that an opportunity comes along that is like $1 billion idea. Like, I'm sure you guys have all seen the movie The Social Network. It's one of my favorite shows. But if you remember the part where they're sitting in at lunch and Justin Timberlake comes in and they're talking about Facebook, and one of the things he says, look, guys, this is not $1 million play. This is $1 billion play. And everyone kind of stops and like, wow, this idea actually could be $1 billion thing. And now you look at Facebook, and obviously we know it was multiples of that. And I think this was the first time in my life where something came across my table. It wasn't like, $1 million idea, but it was something that was literally $1 billion idea. And it was something that I could be part of, and it was something that people I cared about could be part of, and people, my friends, my family, my team at my office, people I care about. And that's why I got excited, because it was not just how can I line my pockets, it's how can we line all of our pockets with this system and this platform that rewards all of us for doing what we're already doing anyway. And that's why I got excited 8 months ago, and I've been working hard behind the scenes with everybody here on the core team from then till now because I believed in it and I'm excited by it. And I'm just grateful that we finally have a chance to tell people about it. I know for most of us it's been something that's like the secret we have that we want to tell everybody, but we can't. And it's nice to now have a chance and a platform to tell everybody. And I'm just grateful and excited by how much everyone's believing in this mission. We were setting up goals, and we were thinking, maybe we'll get 10,000 people the first week, then 20,000. But to get, what do we say the numbers are, like 80-something thousand people in the first 4 days is insane. I was looking tonight on my phone before we jumped on here just to like how fast other companies got to like 100,000 users and 1 million users. And right now, like, our growth curve is faster than Twitter, is faster than Facebook, is faster than anything I've ever seen ever. And it is not slowing down. And so I just appreciate everybody who's on here right now for believing the same mission that we were believing in, and taking a little bit of faith, because obviously you guys haven't had a chance to see everything yet. But taking some faith in me, in Jonathan, and Brian, and the team, because there's a lot of stuff that's been happening behind the scenes. This is not a fly-by-night organization. This is like Brian said earlier, this is a company that has offices in 17 countries. There's infrastructure, there's people in place, and there's been a lot of thought that's gone into this. And you guys will, we're going to give you a bunch of answers tonight, but you guys will get the answers as they come and as you need them. But this is something to be excited about. This is a $1 billion idea, and all you guys have the opportunity to be part of this and play this game. And I don't know about you, but this has been the most fun game I have ever played. I've been going crazy all night long. I'm up to about 4 or 5 in the morning, sending out NDAs and doing it, and then I wake up, my alarm goes off at 6. I'm back on there sending out NDAs and like calling people and yelling at them to go and sign them, and it's been so much fun. And I hope you guys are enjoying the game so far too.
Oh man, that is definitely awesome, and you bring up so many good points, Russell. I think the coolest thing that you just said for sure is at least for me is just how, really for the first time everybody gets to come along on an idea this big, and it's like we always sit on the sidelines and we cheer and we root for our favorite tech companies. We love Instagram, we love all these things, and we're rooting for them. But really for the first time, it's an idea that big that's growing, faster than a lot of those companies even grew, and we all get to come along in the journey. We all get to participate. We all get to share our Ripple and track and grow our Ripple, and we all get to participate in the reward. That is just so awesome, man. Thank you so much for sharing that. And real quick, my friends, can you see my screen again, Brian? Does it work again?
No, what you need to do is where there's a blue box, click outside in the white where the blue box automatically rotates to whoever's speaking. No, the blue surrounding box that's around Russell's head right now.
Yeah. So I clicked on it on mine, so it should be on mine right now. Everybody should be able to see my screen. Just check. You can see it, right?
Yep.
I knew it. Cool, man. So it kind of brings us to what is Rippln, right? We've sort of painted a picture of who we are, of what our vision is, of what excites us in the marketplace, of what we want to create. So what is Rippln? What are we? And first and foremost, as a Rippln fan, you can build your Ripple across the world completely for free. And we'll show you how far that ripple effect spreads. So that's the first thing first. Then, if you want to monetize your Ripple and earn the value from that network that you create, you can power up and become a player, and that's how you participate in the rewards program. Now, what Rippln is as its core, we are the first ever platform that incentivizes the sharing of technology and encourages engagement of users inside of technology. So we are the first, truly, really the first technology incentivized sharing platform. And we have the ability to really connect into hot new apps out there. We can connect into hot new websites. We have the ability, like Brian mentioned earlier, to be completely adaptive and pivot. So if new HTML5 technology comes online, you know, we can connect into all the coolest new technologies that are coming out there. And pretty much through our platform, you can share these technologies, and what we'll do, just like if you've logged into the Rippln back office right now, you can see your ripple effect. So you can literally track how many countries am I in, how many ripples do I have, how many people are in all my ripples. And as we continue to add features to the platform, you'll be able to see even deeper information and data, like who signed up in your ripples and where are they individually located, and you can click their face and go to their profiles and all this sort of stuff. So, you know, at our core, we are a social community. We give you the ability to sort of track your ripple as it spreads socially. We're a community that can also tap into all these different apps and products and services, like I mentioned, and reward you for the value that you're bringing in the marketplace. And if you want to be a fan, that's totally cool. You can play the Rippln game as a fan, and all you got to do is share Rippln with your friends, coworkers, family, whoever, and we'll track your ripple effect across the whole world. And you'll get to see for the first time ever the impact that you're really having on the marketplace and how deep your word really runs. And then for people who say, you know what, I recognize the value that I'm bringing to the marketplace, and I want to level up and become a player, and I actually want to be able to participate in some of the financial rewards that get created through all these technologies, all the cool new apps and websites. Well, that's when you become a player, and now you have the chance to monetize the Ripple that you've been building. So in reality, we're an incredibly simple concept. You know, there's not a lot that people really need to worry about behind the scenes. You know, let us and our technology teams worry about the platform and all that stuff. And in the simplest sense, all we're really doing is sharing the coolest new apps and the coolest new websites and the coolest new products. And as we share these products and share these services, we track your ripple effect across the world, and we reward you when transactions take place in that network. So it's a real simple concept that a lot of people are obviously excited about already, and we truly believe that we will rebuild the social graph. I mean, there's probably 1.5 billion people out there. We believe that we will rebuild a huge portion of that social graph on top of a platform that pays you for it. We believe that this concept is an idea whose time has come, and that people are ready to really stand up and claim the value that they bring. So that's my quick little ramble about what we are. Brian, I'm sure that you might have an idea or two about what Rippln is. Is there anything you want to share?
No, I think you're definitely framing it very well. And the fun thing is that today we've been on the phone, literally nonstop since 7 a.m. with different people outside in the market. Had an opportunity to talk to one of the guys that created Google AdSense, and we spoke for about 45 minutes And the cool thing about what we were talking about is most of Silicon Valley doesn't understand our model. And the unique thing about is our users that we have right now, which we're approaching 87,000 and in 193 countries, but the reach that those 87,000 users have, and those 87,000 players right now are you. But as soon as you turn on the switch, now all of a sudden your reach is 10 million fans that you can connect with instantly, because this tribe and this Ripple is connected based on a mission and based on a real culture that's evolving. And that was the thing that he said that is amazing in terms of, you know, the power that we have is unprecedented, because there's other companies that, you know, they've gotten 1 million downloads in 24 hours or 48 hours, but it's a lot of people spending money on advertising, and there's no lifetime value for that user. And so I think that's something that's very important to understand, is that the biggest differentiator in the market today is you. And instead of you being a pawn, now it's you having the ability to drive that with authority, because now you're going to have the transparency. And even if some of these other social networks wanted to reward you, you know, I don't believe that they have the sophistication to understand what drives behavior and how to track those rewards, you know, no matter how large that social graph and that Ripple goes. So it's a very exciting time to start developing that platform right now.
I want to mention, for those who have been playing this game so far, and I hope you all are and kind of seeing it, but you're really, at least for me, like, it's surprising like how much you actually matter as a person. I started growing this, you know, in the last 4 days. I was just looking at my stats. My Ripple extends to 125 countries. Like, if I would have guessed how many countries my Ripple would extend to, I would have guessed maybe 10 or 15. And I've got friends who are doing this, and they said, "Man, Russell, I'm already in 5 different countries." And whoever thought like just you, just being who you are, that you have that kind of influence, but just by sharing with a couple people, you'll quickly see like how much you as a person are actually influencing other people. And it's really interesting because for me, it makes me just as a human proud of myself and what I can accomplish and what my friends can accomplish, what their friends can accomplish. And I hope you guys are looking at that. Like, your value is so much more than I think a lot of you guys will ever even realize. And this will kind of help you see that. Like, see, man, this is what I'm able to do with just my network of people I already have around me now. And it just really, you know, provides a lot of lets you see kind of the value of yourself, which is pretty cool, I think.
That is super cool. Yeah, I think that's for sure one of my favorite parts of the Ripple, without a doubt. So, you know, next I think we want to talk a little bit about, you know, as a lot of people have been sharing, hey, so this is really cool, we're inviting people, and what's coming out next? And so, Brian, do you want to speak a little to you know, the release of our first app, the Rippln Communicator, or Russell, do you want to speak a little to the release of the first app that's coming, and maybe just paint a little bit of a picture here for everybody about what's coming out first and where we're going next?
Yeah, I can dive a little bit into it if you want.
Awesome, man.
Because it's fun. I've had a lot of people ask me, like, so what is the app? What is, you know, what's going on? And that kind of makes me laugh. That's like everyone's first question for me. And so I'm trying to feel like, how do I explain that to people? I've had a chance to play with it and actually see it, and I'm so excited if you guys all have a chance to do it. But it's basically, like I said, it's a communication app. It gives you the ability, as we're building our Ripples, like, building a Ripple is really cool, but the coolest part is our ability to communicate with those people and those teams we're building and all those types of things. And so, as right now, obviously, during this phase, we're all focusing on building our teams and building our Ripples. The next goal is to be able to communicate with them. And so, there's a lot of cool things you'll be able to communicate through: sending voice messages, sending pictures and videos and a whole bunch of stuff. It's hard to explain until you guys have a chance to see it. And I can't wait to be able to show you guys the app. But it's, again, one of the best communication tools I've ever seen to network with people, to get to know them, to share important information quickly in real time. And anyway, it's exciting. I wish I could show you guys it right now.
We'll be doing that soon.
You will love it. I promise you guys that. You'll be addicted.
Yeah, and I think at Rippln, you know, one of the things that we believe and why we wanted to come out with the communication app first is because within 5 years, we truly believe that 80% of every smartphone on the planet will have a communication utility on it of some kind. Now, if you've ever, you know, used a really cool communication utility, there's a couple of them out there that have become popular. You'll know what I mean. You know, just like Russell was saying, the way that you can communicate with people all over the world, whether they're in China or India or Malaysia or Ecuador or wherever you might have friends, or maybe they're in your back door, maybe they're, like my roommates and I use Voxer to communicate all the time. You can just so quickly and easily share information and chat via audio and whatnot. And so the value of communication utilities in the world is huge. Yet right now, if you look at the market share that a lot of communication utilities have, some of them have decent market share, pretty big market share, maybe 10 to 15% market penetration, but it hasn't really spread to the masses yet. It hasn't really made its jump to literally 50, 60, 80% of all smartphone market share. And so the reason why we wanted to release the communication app first is because we believe that this could be one of the most viral apps out there. Because the nature of communication is, well, you got to talk to somebody. You can't be talking to nobody. And so if you download it and you talk to your friend John, well, if John uses it, he's probably going to be talking to Russell, and Russell's probably going to be talking to somebody else too. And so by nature, it spreads virally. And so when we released the communication app at the start of phase 2, everybody who's in the Ripple right now, everybody who's been growing the Ripple right now, all of a sudden, overnight, you're going to have an app that as it spreads through your Ripple, and all of a sudden your Ripple starts sharing it like crazy. And I'm telling everybody, the type of growth that we've seen now is nothing compared to what we're going to see when we actually have our first viral communication app to be out there and sharing it with. And we truthfully believe that we could reach millions and millions and millions of people within a matter of months who are all using the Rippln communicator, and all of those people will be tracked back to you in your Ripple. And so as we release future products and release future technologies and release our different transaction models that are coming out, all of those transactions will take place in your Ripple, in your network, and you'll have the chance to get rewarded for it. So I think that's one of the things that makes it so exciting. And I know Brian had to hop off the line here real quick, but Russell, is there anything more you wanted to share before we move on to the next slide?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, like I said, you guys, like he mentioned, a lot of you guys are using different communication apps. We've had a chance to see behind the scenes as this one's been developed, and I think it's the best on the market, which is also a nice thing. It's not one that's going to cost money, like some out there costs a lot of money, stuff like that. This is a cool tool you give away for free. People will be able to use it, communicate, and start really. Again, that's when the mass growth will start, when you have the ability to share that app with people, and people will love it. And you guys will get addicted to it. I literally, the first time I downloaded an app like that, I started using it, and it was amazing. And ours is like that on steroids, which is really exciting. And you guys will, it'll be fun to release that to everybody.
Oh, I'm so pumped. It's gonna, and it really is just, I think, head and shoulders above a lot of what is out there. And if there's one thing you guys can kind of see about everything we do here, it's elegant. We're so blessed to be working with such an amazing creative team who can just come up with just beautiful user interfaces and beautiful designs and beautiful technologies. And so we're really going to have some of the most elegant apps and websites and technologies and products on the market. And so a little bit about the schedule of our rollout. Now, as Brian mentioned earlier, we're currently in the buzz building phase. So right now, for you to really engage, and we really encourage everybody, engage full out right now. I mean, it is so fun to be building the Ripple from the start, from the beginning, in its earliest days. And imagine one day if we're looking back and there's a few 100 million people here, and we say, holy smokes, do you remember when there was only 100,000? And that's kind of where we are right now. And so we're in the buzz building phase where we're simply sharing the Ripple with our friends, and we're exposing them to the amazing videos that Russell's done. You probably recognized the voice of Russell if you've watched any of our videos. And we share those videos with our friends, and we simply say, hey, do you like this concept? Like, I think this is so cool. I want to know my ripple effect in the world. I want to be able to get, rewarded if any transactions occur in my Ripple. What the heck? Why are these companies keeping all the hundreds of billions of dollars of value? We should get our share of the value that we create, and do you agree? And it's such a simple concept that it's so easy to share. And so right now, we really encourage everybody to just dive in, have fun playing the game, and see how many countries and how many ripples you can grow by the time we get to phase 2, literally just 60 to 90 days from now. And so as we are in this sort of buzz building phase, you know, it's all about eyeball acquisition. It's all about building the ripple. And from there, we're going to move into really introducing, you know, our first apps and our first transaction models. And so we've got some really cool models coming, such as, I'll just give you a little tip or a little hint. We've got an app that allows for mobile and digital gifting, so that you can literally send gifts from the palm of your hand and organize all your contacts, birthdays and anniversaries. And we've really created a unique user experience for how people keep track of their friends and loved ones and make sure that they send them a gift on their birthday or whatever it is, so that you can let these people know you love them and you care about them and you think about them. And we truly believe that that is one of the biggest spaces to be in. It's a $100 billion marketplace right now, and there's just in gift cards to Target and eBay and all those types of things. And imagine, you know, if we're one of the first real people to show up on the scene with our own, you know, really innovative, really cool mobile and digital gifting app. You know, what could we do? What could we create? We could become the new Amazon of the mobile gifting space. And everybody could participate in the rewards of that. Everybody could participate in the value that they helped create as they shared that app with their friends and coworkers and family. And so there's so many more ideas like that we have. I mean, we literally have a model mapped out, my friends, that will blow people's minds, and innovative, cool, unique products that we're going to be able to share all over the place and get rewarded for. And from there, we're going to move from the transaction model into our mobile and web commerce model. Now, we believe that the distribution of physical products is ripe for a revolution. How we buy things is changing. This isn't the same world it was 30 days ago, never mind 5 years ago or 10 years ago. And so we see an ability for us to change how mobile and web commerce happens by pushing, you know, innovative and unique sort of models for how products get distributed through the Ripple. And so using all the data that we collect through the Ripple, you know, we'll be able to know kind of who needs what and when they need it, and maybe we can have certain deals and certain products that would cost way more if you were trying to go to the store or whatever it may be, almost like a Groupon, except for your Ripple, that's highly targeted to you if you just want to kind of put some concepts on it. And so this is actually coming not too far down the future, not too much later than you think. And then from there, you know, we really have this vision of seeing consumers become creators. And if you sort of, you know, paid attention to what Amazon's done over the last few years, you know, Amazon built this tremendously huge marketplace, and once they created the distribution channel, what did they do? Well, all of a sudden they opened up the Amazon marketplace to allow consumers to actually become creators. And so now anybody can put their products in Amazon's marketplace, whether it's, you know, books that people are creating or catalogs or even, you know, all sorts of physical products from their stores and this and that. And Amazon is the distribution channel. And so we have a vision of allowing people to grow their Ripple, and once they grow their Ripple and they sort of reach a certain level of playing the game, maybe they get to level 9 or level 10 or level 12, and all of a sudden they get qualified to be able to create their own products and roll their own products out through the Ripple. And we want to empower people in that way and give people the way to really get rewarded for the Ripple that they build and the communities that they build. And so, you know, we're just getting started, and we're really at just such an exciting time in the Ripple right now. We're building all of this. You know, this is the beginning, which is so fun. You know, Russell, what do you kind of see as a vision for where we're going with this and our sequence of events here too?
Yeah, a lot of people always ask me, like, Kate, because I don't know, I feel bad at this point. A lot of you guys have seen a sliver of it, right? You've seen maybe the NDA video, maybe the post-NDA video, and you've seen little pieces of it. But when you understand the whole entire process, it's really exciting. Again, right now, as Jonathan said, this is the time where we're building our Ripples, we're building that infrastructure to start getting people into our teams, right? And then the second phase, this is when the app comes out and we start communicating with those channels, and we're basically building our own distribution channel. Okay, then the third thing that's going to be happening now is that's when things are going to be introduced, right? There's going to be apps that are being introduced, and in my mind, in the future, what I'm excited and I hope what we'll get to is people will pick up their phone, and inside their phone they're going to buy movie tickets and book their flights and all sorts of stuff in there, and all those things that are happening are all rewarded back to us inside of our Rippln. And then and like Jonathan said, the next phase is kind of like Amazon, where you've got this infrastructure, you've got these Ripplns, and there's basically like an internal ecosystem inside of there, and all this stuff's going to be happening, and everyone has got the ability to someday become someone who can publish products inside of there. So it's kind of taking a lot of these landmark big companies and tying it into one really cool process, and that's what gets me so excited. It's not it's not an app. It's not just one thing. It's a movement. It's a big process, and you guys are at the very beginning phases of that, which is what I think is super exciting. And you're going to be diving in and just each part, every step of this game, and it's kind of fun. We've really choreographed this rollout as a game. Right now we're in the NDA phase, and we're going to start the pre-game, and then what's going to be happening. And as you guys play each phase of this game, you're going to find just so much exciting, rewarding things at each phase of it. And that's what's so exciting about it. And so again, we're able to share as much as we can right now. But as you guys see each of these phases unfold, you're just going to be more and more excited, because you'll see, man, this is now, especially if you play it out full out right now. If you guys play full out right now and you build your Ripplns, when the next phase comes, you're going to be just so much more rewarded, because you focus on playing the game, up full speed up front. And that's the biggest key I can say for you guys is, like, play full out right now, because the next phase comes, you're going to be 10 times more rewarded the harder you play the first round. Okay, just like any sports, I'm an athlete. When harder you play round 1 and round 2 and round 3, everything you're going through it, it's all about momentum. It's all about how everything kind of ties into each other. And like I said, all the systems, all the millions of dollars of programming, infrastructure, all this stuff's been taken care of for you guys. You just jump on right now on this game, play it full out, and you will reap the benefits and reap the rewards of all the hard effort that Brian and Jonathan, everybody's been putting in behind the scenes to build this platform for you guys. And it's going to be the most fun game. It's the game of a lifetime, and I'm excited to be playing with it. I'm excited to be playing with all of you guys that are watching this right now.
Awesome, my friend, and you really you hit the nail on the head too. It's such a brilliant concept of being able to literally do the things that we do on a normal basis, right? Purchase our movie tickets, buy our plane tickets, make our reservations, get cash back if we go out to eat and we use a reward or loyalty point program game. And all of a sudden, all of that has potential to be tracked in our Rippln and rewarded back to us. And that's why I think we keep reiterating everybody that this really is only the beginning. And as we continue to roll out the future phases of Rippln, everybody is just going to be even more blown away, I think, than we are now. And hopefully you're moving in that direction if you're still new and just checking it all out. And so,
one thing I want to jump in real quick too. I want to mention is, if you think about it, like, you have no idea who you have influence over, right? Like, whoever it was that introduced me to Amazon like 5 years ago when I found out about Amazon, if they were getting a percentage of everything I've ever bought on Amazon, I don't have my books here, but if you're in my office right now, you would see that I literally, and I'm kind of a junkie, but I spend about $1,000 a month on Amazon on books and tapes and videos and stuff like that. Audible.com, same thing. I spend over like $150, $200 a month on Audible.com. And whoever was that introduced me to those, if I was one person in their Rippln, think how much money they would have made off of me, because I am always buying. And you have no idea who it is that you could influence on 1 or 2 or 5 levels, Ripples deep. And that person could be the person who's just a buyer like me and buys all sorts of stuff. And I promise you, when your Rippln grows to 1,000 and 10,000 and 100,000 people, those aren't little. Those rewards will not be little at that point. And that's what gets me excited. Like, I just love the fact of, you have no idea a lot of times who these people are in 3 or 4 Ripples deep. And it'd be nice that because we started that connection with the first person and it went to the second person, that we're getting rewarded back for all of that coming back in. And it's a concept that's amazing, and it still blows my mind that we've got the technology in place now that's doing that and building the infrastructure. And I'm just so grateful to be able to plug into that and run with it. It's exciting.
Absolutely, my friend. And so it begs the question of how you participate. And so right now we're all free fans, free fans.
Free friends.
We're all free fans, say that fast, growing the Ripple. And we can grow our Ripple for free, and we're going to track your ripple effect across the whole globe. So once you log into the back office of Rippln, you'll be able to click on the invite tab, and you'll really easily be able to see how you can enter somebody's cell phone number or their email, and then click which one you entered, and it's going to send them a unique invite code that comes from you. And when they enter that unique invite code into the Ripple, it's going to track who entered it, and it's also going to track all of their ripples, and we'll track that across the whole globe. And as we move into phase 2, that's when we turn on communication and compensation, and now you can get rewarded on the Ripple that you grew. And so I really like to think of this as a personal income model for the future that's allowing people to work smarter, not harder, but what's even better, and I know this isn't a word, funner. And that's kind of what makes it fun. I like to say words that aren't even words. But it's true. I mean, come on, man. I think about what's going on out there, and it's like, you know, there's a lot of talk about what's going on in the economy, and people are struggling, and, you know, different industries are crashing. You know, the auto industry is going away, and so much manufacturing has already gone away, and all these traditional industries that we've had to make our livings from, and really we've had to provide for our families from these industries. And then, you know, literally in the last decade, you know, so much has changed. And yet you look over at the technology industry, and the technology industry is just burgeoning, you know, it's just exploding. And Apple literally has more money in the bank than the entire United States government. And yet, if you're not a coder or an engineer or, you know, a graphic artist or somebody, then, you know, it's hard for you to get paid. It's hard for you to participate in all of the wealth that's being created in that industry. And when I look at this, my mind's blown because I see a new personal income model for the future that allows anybody, no matter what generation we're from, whether we're Gen Y or Gen Z or Gen W or whatever gens are out there, you know, we can still share, you know, technologies and products and apps and get rewarded for the transactions that take place within that. And I really see that this is working not only smarter, but it's working funner, right? You're playing the game, you're watching your Ripple grow around the world, and you're having fun. And what's better than playing a game to earn real rewards and have fun? I mean, not too many things. And so I see that we're not only filling a giant problem out in the world, which is how does technology get distributed today? You know, how do we bring the coolest new apps and products to market? And I think that the model is broken. And I think that people aren't finding these technologies easy a lot of times, because unless somebody has a ton of money that they got from venture capitalists, then they have no way to go share this with you and tell you about it. And so few do actually go viral that, you know, this is a big problem. How do we bring a lot of these cool new technologies to market? And we're solving that problem. The Ripple literally is the solution to distributing a lot of these technologies, and you have the chance to get rewarded for that. And not only that, but it's also solving the problem of, you know, where are we going to earn our income from in the future? You know, as these models change around the world, and, you know, certain models are going down, how can we participate in the models that are going up? And how can we participate in new, innovative income models? And I believe that Rippln is stepping in and fulfilling that need in the marketplace and fulfilling that need in people's lives and doing it in a way that nobody's ever done before. And it's just, you know, one more reason why we're really pumped up. And Russell, I'd love to hear your thoughts on that too before we move on to the next steps.
If I can intervene just really quick, you know, I think that one thing that's hey guys, I think it's one thing that's, you know, important for everyone that's tuning in to understand is that, you know, the most important thing about tonight is really, you know, us just starting communication and dialogue. And there's so many of you that are on the line right now that have been an integral part behind the scenes and a contribution to the corporate team here in Dallas and around the world. You know, such as Michael Rutherford and Jim Bunch and Lisa and Curtis and Michael Beal and Scott Elliott. And, you know, we had an opportunity to meet just some incredible people this weekend. And so the thing I think is so important for people to understand is we wanted to have more of a casual conversation tonight. that's diving into all of the nuances. We have all of those modules built out as we're going to be releasing through this rollout sequence that we're doing. You know, and the most important thing I think really people really need to understand is that this is different. You know, we believe that this is a new model and a new way to reward people. You know, it's customer acquisition model, and you know the big picture of what we're doing is it's about rewarding you and using those rewards for applications that, you know, we look at it as essentially we've been the lead generators for hundreds of companies over the last 8 years, and some of the biggest companies on their leads. You have generated their value, and so with this platform, we have learned to use 2 or 3 different strategies that all of us are familiar with and put them into a business model that we can all get rewarded for based on the leads that we create in the market or the activity we create in the market, such as mobile engagement, such as gamification. You might hear Russell, who, you know, Russell looks like he's 16, but he actually is a proud father of 4, and you might say to yourself, you know, what is in today's market? And, you know, it's really a marketplace that's driven by the consumer. But what our model is, it's about us that are the consumers that have been lead generators for so many other companies to put together a platform that can provide an audience to which the players within our community can then sell the products to the audience that they build, or they can share the products that they like to the audiences that they build, just like you're doing now and just like you're doing today. And so, you know, first of all, I think it's number one, a privilege for us to be in the position that we're in, and I appreciate all the contribution and the marketing and all the aspects, you know, people like Russell and Jonathan have brought to the table, as well as so many others across the globe. And so what we want to do is we want to reward you for bringing people that are fans, that are, you know, just like participants, whether that's Instagram or Pinterest, that are going to be a part of what we're doing. And so we're super excited over the course of the next 6 to 8 weeks, 7 weeks, to really start rolling out more and more training to you, to where we can dive into you know, more and more aspects of the business. And, you know, with that being said, you know, the invite system and what we're doing, I think it's phenomenal that all of this is a one-to-one relationship. It's not any mass blasting going out to all over the world. It literally is, you know, one invite to another, asking them to be a part of Rippln and to start Rippln and getting, you know, becoming aware of the impact that they make on the market. And someone can't send out 5 more invites until they get the first 5 invites filled, and that's something that's done on purpose. And so what I want to do is tell you guys that the best is still yet to come. It's a very big vision, and there's a lot of resources that have been focused in on what we're doing. And so with that being said, you know, thanks everyone for participating in the call. I need to jump off here, Jonathan and Russell, but I want to tell you guys how much I appreciate you. And, you know, it was so fun meeting, you know, the thousands of people that are the 1,000 people that were in, Diane Hockman and Michelle, and there's just some really neat people that, you know, were in place that it's going to be fun to, you know, really experience driving this visibility and this transparency all over the world. And I always say that, you know, sometimes, you know, your perception is your reality, but the reality of it is when something can be misunderstood, it will. And who would have ever thought that one of the most innovative platforms that's ever built was built by a 19-year-old kid, you know, a 20-year-old kid that literally created a platform. But that platform, what it exposed is how powerful we are, and the power of a one-to-one relationship to connect with people all over the globe. And so something I think everyone should think about tonight is this, is that over the last 5, 6, 7 years, how many of us, you know, have been able to, you know, see how fast something can take off across the market. Now you have the ability to participate in it, and for the last time, you know, develop your Rippln and then be able to control your Rippln, not because of a heavy-handed sales pitch, but because you can become the creators of it, and ultimately you can share what you want to share through that Rippln. So, you know, with that being said, I just appreciate everyone tuning in. Appreciate Russell, you and Jonathan, and Jim Bunch, and like I said, what we're going to be doing is hosting a lot of these hangouts so you can get to know some of the people that are contributing to dropping that first rock in the water and watching it spread. We want you to meet them more on a personal level. And the thing I learned about these hangouts from Lisa Grossman is that it's important to be who you are and be real through these, because that's the most important aspect in today's market. And Gary Vaynerchuk talks about it a lot, is transparency. And what we want to do is show true transparency about the impact that you have. And listen, we know that there's going to be people who say that it can't be done and it won't be done. And that's the exciting news about it, is those critics, there's never statues that were built, from the critics. And so the one thing I can tell you is a lot of people can deny something until it becomes evident. And then once it becomes evident, they have to accept it. Usually by the time people accept something, it's too late to take advantage of what they had in front of them in the first place. And for all of you that see what we see and believe what we believe, I can tell you we're not going to let you down. We are absolutely working day and night. We're consulting with a lot of not only legal attorneys about everything that we're doing, but also some of the brightest minds in technology as we're ramping very, very fast, and also logistically, to take on this project has been is a huge task, but I believe that our team is definitely ready for it. So with that being said, appreciate everyone and your time that you've given us tonight. Appreciate you to keep Rippln and your faith in what we're doing. So with that, I'm going to turn it back over to you guys.
Brian, thank you so much, my friend. Endless amounts of respect for you, partner, and all the true dedication. I mean, if anybody ever wants to see what dedication looks like, look up Brian Underwood in the dictionary, and you'll see dedication, and that's the whole team behind Rippln. So I'm truly just humbled and in a lot of respect to be here. And to close things out, my friends, we just want to give you the next steps. So if you're loving what you're hearing and you want to have fun and play the game and ripple across the universe, here's what to do. Step number one, you want to watch all the media in your Rippln back office, and stay tuned, because we're going to be releasing new media all the time over the next 6 weeks. Next thing you want to do is you want to look over the rewards plan, just so you can get familiar for how the rewards are going to work and what the true value of your Ripple could be once we enter into phase 2 and turn on the communication and compensation. And after that, we recommend that you invite your first 5 people to the Ripple. And I say go focus on your 5, influential and fun and business savvy or just, friends that you like, and say, hey, what do you think about this concept? Invite them to the Ripple and invite them to join the movement that we have going on right now of reclaiming the wealth that's inherent in the technology industry for the people. And after you invite your first 5 people, just play the game. Over the next couple weeks, we're going to be introducing lots of features to the platform that truly will gamify your whole experience. And so you'll be able to earn points, to level up and have fun as you grow your Ripple all over the world. And from there, just keep engaging in the calls and the media and the events just like this one. We'll let you know through emails and through our Facebook page. Go and like us on Facebook. I believe we're facebook.com/Rippln. And just engage in all the stuff that we're doing and stay plugged into the movement, and you'll feel our energy and the excitement, I believe, will build and grow in you as well. And after that, make sure you engage with the new fans that you're creating in the Ripple and help them grow virally too. And so as new fans keep coming into the Ripple, once you're inviting your friends and then you invite more friends and you invite more friends, all of a sudden a lot of people are going to start showing up. And if you engage with them and you say, hey, do you want to play with me and grow this Ripple around the world? They're going to start inviting their friends. And then when they engage with their fans, that pattern continues and continues and continues. And, we'll give you more additional coaching and support and leadership on how to grow your Ripple around the world as the days continue. But one of the most exciting things I believe you will ever see in your life is what a lot of people are experiencing right now, which is literally their Ripple growing virally all over the world. And that's happening. I mean, we are in 140-something countries within 5 days and over 86,000 people. I mean, the proof is in the pudding. So the more that you engage in this and the more you engage with your fans and the more you just play the game and invite and share the more fun you're going to have and the more rewards that you're going to have the chance to participate in when we enter into phase 2. And if you've got any questions, reach out to our team here or ask your team captain, the person that referred you to the Rippln and invited you to the Rippln. Reach out to them and just ask them for support and dialogue and just have fun playing the game with us. And so with that said, my friends, Russell, is there anything you want to say before we hop off the line here?
Last thing I want to say, you guys, is there's not many times in life that an opportunity like this comes by, and for those of you who are watching this right now, you are at the very beginning of it, and I just want to encourage you guys from the bottom of my heart, grab onto this with all you have, ride the wave, because it's going to be amazing, and I promise you, in 6 months from now, a year from now, 5 years from now, if you miss this wave, you will look back and you will kick yourself forever. But if you ride this wave and you come and play this game with us, the sky's the limit. It's going to be one of the most exciting, fun things in the world. And I'm just grateful to be part of this movement, and excited to have you guys on board with us. And let's do some amazing stuff. And bring your talents, bring your abilities, whatever it is that you got to bring to the table, bring it. And we'll have some fun with this game, you guys. We appreciate y'all.
Super appreciate you, my friends. We'll see you soon.
Thanks, everybody.